everyone, and welcome back to Mathematics with Usman. Today we are rolling up our sleeves for yet another topic on O-levels mathematics, and today the topic is linear inequalities. Dear students, the objective for today's lesson is to introduce ourselves with the basics of the inequalities, the basic symbols of the inequalities. For instance, let's say we have more than or greater than. This indicates an inequality, and the symbol that we use for it is an arrow that is pointing towards the right. For instance, let's say we have a number 5 and we will read it as 5 is greater than 1. We are starting from left towards the right. Similarly, we can say that 15 is greater than 10, or 5 is greater than 2, or 2 is greater than 0, or 0 is greater than -1. Students, there is another symbol that we must need to familiarize ourselves with, and that symbol is the lesser one, the arrow pointing towards the left. We can call it the lesser one or the smaller than. And if we have a number, let's say 3, and it is smaller than 6, then we will read it as 3 is smaller than 6, and we will write it in this form in mathematics. That you must need to know. Inequalities can also be read from right towards the left, and we often need it. If we say 5 is greater than 1, instead we will move from right towards the left and we will say 1 is smaller than 5, and it is the same as saying 5 is greater than 1. Similarly here, 3 is lesser than 6, and if we read it from right towards left, we will say 6 is greater than 3, and it is the same as saying 3 is smaller than 6. Students, first of all, you must know what is the difference between equality and the inequality. If you see the symbol equals to, take it as the equality. And if that symbol equality is replaced by any one of these four, greater than or equals to, smaller than or equals to, greater than only, smaller than only, you will say it is an inequality. It is often required that you should represent this information on the number line, and we have a fair idea of the number line. For instance, if I ask you to draw this x is greater than or equals to 4 on the number line, students, we can simply draw it like this. Here the number is 4, so we will draw a number on the number line at some instant 4. Now x, the value of x, if greater than 4, we will take any value of x that is equals to or greater than 4. But the numbers that are lesser than 4 are restricted for this particular variable x. So we can have a number line which is giving us the numbers towards the right of this 4. It can be 4.1, 4.2, 4.5, even 5, 5.1, 5.2, 6, 7, 8, up to infinity. Sometimes, students, you may be asked to illustrate the information other way around like this. 4 is less than x, and I told you in these cases read the inequality from right towards the left. That is the same as saying x is greater than 4. So students, if we want to draw this on the number line, we will a number line like this, and we will mark the point 4 somewhere here, and the value of x can be greater than 4. It can be 5, 6, 7, and up to so on, which is indicated by the arrow. The third condition that we have to face during our representation of the inequalities could be x is less than or equals to 4. And for this instant, if we need to draw the number line, we will simply draw it in the same way. We will mark here the point 4 with the dash on it, and then the values of x will be lesser than 4. So they can be 3, they can be 2, 0, -1, -10, up to negative infinity, which are indicated by the arrow toward the left. The thing, students, to notice here is, see here, this one, 4 is lesser than x, or x is greater than 4, and x is greater than or equals to 4. What that means is, you have the 4 which is excluded in the second one, and 4 is included in the first one. If I ask you, or you are often asked with the question, what is the largest possible integral value of x? So in the first case, this one, it is 4, because 4 is included in it. However, students, the largest possible value of x in the second case, it would be 5, not 4. And in the last case, the third one, what we are having is the value of x, an integer. We can find the greatest possible integral value, and that is 4 in the case. There can be another case, that is x is lesser than 4. We will have the same values of x, same number line going in the same direction. The values of x will be lesser than 4, -3, -2, 0, even 1, 2, 3, and then they are moving towards the negative infinity, represented by the same number line. However, students, the difference is here the value of 4 is included. However, the value of 4 here is excluded. X can have the value 4 in the third case, but x cannot have the value 4 in the fourth case. There can be another case of inequality in which you might be given an inequality like this, where you will read the value of this x from the left and from the right. Just always remember to read it x towards the left and x towards the right. So you will read it x is greater than or equals to -3 and x is less than 4. So the value of x is greater than or equals to -3 and it must be lesser than 4. So it is somewhere between -3 and 4. Again, if we want to draw a number line for it, we will move in the same way. This is the number line. We will first mark the point -3 on the number line. Let's say it is somewhere over here. We will mark the number 4 on the number line with the dash on it, just like this one. And then the value of x will be towards the right of this -3 and towards the left of this 4, represented by this number line like this. -3 is included in the values of x, mean x can have the value of -3 and greater, but x cannot have the value of 4 but the values that are lesser than 4. So the greatest possible integral value for 4 in this case would be 3, and the lowest integral value for x would be -3. This is how, students, you have to cope up with the inequalities. I hope you have some understanding of the inequalities. We will further explore it in the coming tutorials. And this brings us to the end of today's tutorial. As always, thank you very much for watching Mathematics with Usman. See you in another tutorial and have yourself a productive week.